I'm very excited to be able to interview this evening's keynote speaker. Liev Schreiber is an actor, a director, a producer, a screenwriter, but he also has a really interesting and unique background and upbringing, and has said that some of his creative choices have been based on his Jewish identity. So we have a lot to talk about. I feel far away from you. I'm going to come in a little closer.
I'm closer.
Okay. I'm changing the stage. Let's talk about Ray Donovan.
Okay.
Ray Donovan's, yes, such a hit series.
I thought we were going to talk about being Jewish.
We will. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh,
Avi,
amazing. Yeah.
your Jewish sidekicks.
That's right.
Right-hand
That's the
man.
worst Israeli accent I've ever heard in my life.
I
The
actually
worst.
thought that too.
And I know there's some people in here who probably agree with me. That's the worst. But you buy it somehow because he's so ebullient.
That's really
Hey,
funny.
hey.
Television series are becoming more interesting to film actors like yourself. What is the difference in doing a television series versus doing a film beyond the time component?
Well, you know, the one thing is that you get to continue the life of a character, which you don't really do in the theater or in the film world. The character is done when the film's done or the play's over every night.
What was it like to go behind the camera? Because I know you directed several episodes of Ray Donovan. Did it allow you to see the show or maybe even your character in a different way?
Yeah, it was very difficult because directing television is so much about transitions. And if you're not looking at composition, it's very difficult. But we have an extraordinary DP, and he would help me a lot.
I want to talk about Everything Is Illuminated. It was your feature film directorial debut, your screenwriting debut. I just saw it this week. It's so charming and so well told.
Thank you.
What was it about that book that you thought, this has to be made into a film?
Well, I'd actually written a screenplay about a guy who goes to Ukraine to find out to find out what happened to his grandfather.
The immigrant experience, a young Jewish man looking for answers about his grandfather, difficult sort of moments about the Holocaust brought onto the screen. What was it about those themes that resonated with you?
Well, there were two things. One is I've always had a problem with memory that I think is pathological. But when my grandfather got sick, and I was raised by my grandfather, and so much of my identity, I'd say every character I've ever played has some piece of my grandfather in it.
A huge part of Everything Is Illuminated is a young boy's relationship with his grandfather, two young men actually, to their grandfathers. So tell us a little bit about your grandfather and the influence that he had on you. We would need 3 weeks to hear all about that, I'm guessing, from your smile, but tell us a little something.
He was a tough guy from Brownsville, Brooklyn. He was a bodyguard for the Communist Party. And he was a boxer and a hockey player, and he was tiny. He was like that big. But he was what you'd call a mensch.
The roles that you play are so diverse. Sabretooth, Chuck, Marty, Ray Donovan, but a lot of them, as you mentioned, are so intense. Is it because you're drawn to that intensity, or directors, do they look at your face and think, that's an intense guy? He's got the intense guy face.
Slavic fat pads and arched eyebrows. No, I played nebbishy guys for years, and then something happened, and they went, oh, he looks mean. And that's where I am now. I'm in the mean phase.
Not all film actors or television actors can do theater, but you have done it so very well. What is it about the theater that you love?
The sense of power that comes from great writing and an audience, which is, it's addictive. It's addictive to know what to say. It's addictive to know what to do, to know where to be, how to think, and to do it poetically.
The first movie you ever saw in color, Star Wars, 1977. Yeah. What was the impact of that?
I was very angry at my mother for not letting me see color movies.
Why did she deny you that? Why do you think she didn't want you to see color films?
In retrospect, you know, because I'm raising kids now, I think that she wanted me to know how great Alexander Nevsky was.
I'd like to talk a little bit about your role as a dad. I know you have 2 boys. What is some of your favorite parts or your favorite part about being a dad?
Well, you know, I wasted a lot of time thinking it was my show. And when you have kids, you learn quickly that it's not your show.
I'm hoping, Liev, that you're going to be open. I would love to end this interview with sort of a la Proust questionnaire, a la James Lipton.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
You up for it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Really easy. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
If you could sit down and have a beer with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
My grandfather.
Good. What is something that people would be surprised to know about you?
I'm short? No.
That you're not an angry guy?
No, I'm not an angry guy.
Would that be it?
I'm definitely not an angry guy.
So there, I answered that one for you. I'm going to give you that one.
Thank
What
you.
do you consider your greatest achievement?
Sasha and Kai.
What do you most value in your friends?
Kindness.
If you could have one superpower, which one would you choose?
Flying.
Me too. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Half full or half empty?
Half empty.
Liev Schreiber, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, really.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we're getting a photo? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.